Welcome to our podcast, Taking Life by the Horns.
And Take No Bull.
Today we're going to talk about, am I the narcissist? That's a question that if you've been alive for a while, you may have asked yourself. It's really common when being gaslit to think that maybe you are the problem, that you are the narcissist. First, I want to discuss labels, though.
Yeah.
We use this narcissist word pretty freely. You were telling me, Candi, how many people are actually narcissists?
So the percentage of people in the world that are actually NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, is only 3%.
Okay.
So while probably 100% of the population have some sort of narcissistic tendencies or traits,
Yes,
not everybody's a narcissist. So we're not labeling anybody here on our podcast as a narcissist.
no. But it is important to realize what those tendencies and traits of a narcissist are so we can improve ourselves. So that's what we're talking about today. Am I the narcissist, and what it feels to be gaslit and feel like that? Because I don't know about you, but many times I have stopped in an argument, a discussion, and thought, am I the problem here? Am I in the wrong? Am I the narcissist? Am I the bad guy?
Well, that usually comes from the person you're arguing with pointing the finger at you, telling you you're wrong, you're unhealed, you don't know what you're talking about, you're not seeing the perception the right way, right? So then you take a step back and go, oh, maybe I'm not. So you're asking those questions.
Which brings me to my first, I'm going to tell you things that a narcissist will not do, will never do. And Candi's going to talk about the traits that a narcissist will do. So one thing, quick little thing, very good information. When a therapist is diagnosing a narcissist, they look over a 6-month period and they're looking for a triad of things: lack of empathy, lack of sympathy, and a lack of self-reflect. So if you have those 3 things going on for more than 6 months, you might be a narcissist. But the first thing that a narcissist will never do, a narcissist will never worry if they are a narcissist.
No, a narcissist, well, that goes back to self-reflection. So a narcissist never asks if anything's wrong with them.
Yeah, they're correct. They're always correct 100% of the time. So they don't need to reflect on if they are a narcissist. A narcissist will never ask.
That's number one. Yes. Well, one thing a narcissist will do is think that they are superior. Thank you. I was trying to say superiority. So they will discredit anybody who tries to take that away from them. So they will maintain that projection that they are superior to other people around them.
There's a complex I've heard about, the God complex. It's usually used with doctors. I'll be honest, I heard this on Grey's Anatomy, but God complex, and that's what I thought of when you said that they will always feel superior, have a support. See, now I can't say it. Say it with me.
Superiority.
Still not gonna do it. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Second thing that a narcissist will never do is they will never seek help. They're not going to go to a therapist to be better. They're not going to read a book to figure out if they are a narcissist. Might not listen to this podcast, Am I the Narcissist? Now, they may learn more about it to be more manipulative, but there's a difference between learning how to be a better narcissist and how not to be a narcissist. So a narcissist will never seek help.
Yeah, a narcissist might watch this podcast and give it to their partner and say, you might want to watch this because you might be a narcissist.
And we appreciate both those likes, but yeah, we see you. We know what you're doing.
Another trait of a narcissist is entitlement, and that they are never wrong. So don't ever expect an apology from a narcissist. That's where it ends.
Yeah.
Don't ever expect any acknowledgement or any kind of an apology. And they expect you to apologize to them all the time because you will always be in the wrong and they are entitled to that.
Yeah, I'm a pretty good apologizer. A narcissist will never grow and improve. So they're not looking to improve because they are already perfect. There is nothing more they can do to be a better person. So they're never going to grow and improve. So if you're somebody that is constantly reading self-help books, reading YouTube, watching YouTubes, trying to be a better person, probably not the narcissist.
Yeah. Well, another thing a narcissist will do is they will need attention. They
Mm,
like the limelight. They like everybody focused on them because, well, they're always right.
yeah.
They know it all. They know it. They know everything, and they feel entitled to that attention as well. So they will ruin actually birthday parties, holidays, events if the attention is not on them.
I have a very close friend of mine who told me that his mother ruins every birthday party he has. And I thought about that. And this was way before I knew anything about narcissists, but I thought that was very interesting. And hearing you say that, it's all checking off the boxes now.
Yeah, I lived with several narcissists throughout my life, and I can tell you that every holiday was ruined, every
Mm,
birthday was ruined. We didn't get to enjoy much of anything unless they were the focus. And often they would ruin their own
that's
birthdays.
what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Really?
Um, I tried to throw a surprise birthday party for a narcissist once, and I think they perceived as the attention being on me because I was planning the party and throwing the party. And so when
Oh,
I planned the surprise party for them, they were actually really ticked off at me and threatened not to be there or to come because I think they saw me as getting the attention for throwing the party instead of them for being their birthday.
very
Hmm.
interesting. I threw a 40th birthday party for my husband. It was a blast. We had an amazing time. Okay, something a narcissist will never do is have empathy for people. And I stress that people. Now, they may have a lot of empathy for animals. We do as well. But for people, they're not going to have empathy for them.
No, I think we've talked about this a lot as we've encountered some people with these narcissistic traits and tendencies. These people that are very lack empathy. They could care less how they hurt you or how they make you feel, but sometimes they're amazing with animals.
Yeah.
And we've discussed this. Like, where does this come from? Is it
Mhm.
because animals expect nothing from them? Is it because animals give to them without expecting anything in return? But we've noticed that a lot of
Yeah.
these people are very kind or very good to animals, but when it comes to people, no empathy
Yeah.
whatsoever. Yeah.
And very clear on that. You can be very empathetic and be an amazing person and still love animals. We're not saying
Yeah.
that. But a narcissist may have empathy for animals or inanimate objects, but
Eh,
not for people.
and I don't know that it's true empathy, right? I still think
Mm,
that it goes back to animals are not expecting anything of them. Animals are not asking anything of them, so they feel
yeah.
freer.
It's that unconditional love, which we have a podcast about. Post the link in the comments in the show notes. But it's they're looking for that unconditional love, which you will only
Yeah.
get true unconditional love from animals.
Yes. Yeah. Well, another trait of a narcissist is they need to control situations. They need to control people, and they need to control the fact that everybody perceives them as perfect.
Mm,
So control is a big one for a narcissist. They will control absolutely everything. That goes back to controlling how much you get to celebrate and enjoy holidays and birthdays, how much you get to enjoy life, what you're doing throughout the day. There is always that control, but it usually always goes back to how they are perceived by others.
yeah, the control and the perception.
Hmm.
A narcissist will never put someone ahead of themselves. They will always be the most important in any situation.
And a narcissist will never have boundaries.
Yeah.
So a narcissist will never have boundaries because they need to control people, right?
Yeah.
So if you had boundaries, you wouldn't be able to control other people. So there are no boundaries with narcissists. You are not allowed to be your own person, be an individual, do your own things.
A narcissist will never be humble, authentic, or vulnerable.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, they can't touch those emotions very
No.
easily at all.
Or maybe even understand what it truly means to be humble, authentic, and vulnerable.
Yeah, to be open like that. Yeah. Um, a narcissist does not allow for independence or individuality. So you're not allowed to be anything that they aren't
Oh,
really. They can't wrap their head around and comprehend you liking something different, feeling something different, having a different perception. There's no individuality around a narcissist.
because they're perfect. So why would you want to be anything different than what they are, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Very
Yeah.
interesting. A narcissist will never apologize. And I am sorry you are feeling that way is not an apology. A narcissist will never give you a true, heartfelt apology. I didn't write this down, but I'm going to add to this. They'll never give you closure either.
Well, that goes into my next one, which is they accept no responsibility or ownership for anything. So they will blame, they will scapegoat, but they will not accept any ownership or responsibility for anything. It is always, always somebody else's fault.
Always. They will never help anonymously. And anonymously is the key word here. So they may help, but it's to be in the spotlight. The reason behind their help. But anonymously, that'll never be a narcissist.
Because they're not getting that credit, huh?
Yes. It's all about the spotlight.
Well, another trait of a narcissist is that they can't handle any type of criticism. So you can't even tell a narcissist, oh, you missed a spot on the plate when you did dishes, because that is perceived as criticism. And now you are the bad guy, and you will be the bad guy in their eyes.
I have a hard time taking criticism. I'll own up on that one.
Yeah?
Sometimes it's tough to hear criticism when you've been working on yourself and you want to do so much better. And then to hear criticism can be kind of tough.
I think criticism is hard to hear for absolutely everybody, but the key is the person who is giving you the criticism isn't necessarily a bad guy. So you don't see those people as portraying them as all bad. Like, get away from me. I don't want anything to do with you.
It's
so
how you take the criticism.
It's a little bit different. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's very interesting. I like that. A narcissist will never talk about deep emotions. So those conversations with a narcissist is either going to be about themselves or very, the weather, very shallow stuff.
Yeah,
but
very
the
superficial.
deep emotions, you're not going to get that conversation from a narcissist.
Well, they don't know their own emotions, so how can they acknowledge your emotions?
Emotions are scary. It's hard to deal with them when you don't understand them.
Well, and they see everything black and white, all good, all bad, never and always. And so just like I gave the example before, that if you criticize a narcissist by saying, oh, hey, you missed a spot on the plate when you were doing dishes, all of a sudden you are always the bad guy. They see everything in black and white. So you are never good to them. You never give them compliments. And they see everything as all one way or all the other. There's no in between. And even if you've done something good for a narcissist, you've taken care of them, you've offered them help, you've done things really good for them. In the moment that they get mad at you, they will never acknowledge anything good you've ever done in the past.
Oh, scary. They will never forgive and forget. Both of them. They won't forget anything that you've done wrong, and they're never going to forgive you. So don't ask for it. They're never going to forgive and forget.
No, because they've been hurt so much by something you've done, right? That forgiveness, whatever it is that you've done that they think they don't need to forgive you for, it's hurt them so bad.
Yeah.
They simply can't find themselves to forgive you. Well, another trait is that they expect and assume that you are just like them. They expect you to feel like them. They expect you to see the world like them. They expect you to be just like them. There is no individuality with a narcissist.
Interesting. They will never praise someone else. And that kind of goes back to that. They're not going to praise someone else because someone else is not them, is not as good as them, not doing the things that they are. Nobody's going to be exactly the same person. So they're never going to be able to praise someone else.
Well, they're always above everybody else, so there's nothing else to praise. And one thing I wanted to go back to, because one thing, a trait that I want to go back to one of the traits of a narcissist, and we've mentioned it several times, which is empathy.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to point out that what the difference is between empathy and sympathy. Empathy is being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. Empathy is being able to acknowledge what somebody else is feeling. Say somebody lost a loved one in their family. A narcissist can't perceive what it's like to be in that person's shoes and what it's like to feel like them. So there's a difference between sympathy and empathy. A narcissist doesn't have either, but they will never be able to feel what somebody else feels.
Okay. They will never be a people pleaser. That's never in their rule book. They're never going to try to please you and any people.
No, they're not going to step out of their way or comfort zone to make somebody else happy for anything.
Yeah.
No, good luck.
So here, I think we've kind of got a really good grasp on if you are not a narcissist, but if you're still questioning it, or maybe you're thinking of someone else trying to figure out if they are a narcissist, Candi has some questions that you can ask yourself. So I like these questions. Give us the first one.
Okay, so the first one is, are you uncomfortable with too much attention around you? Does that give you anxiety? Does it make you uncomfortable? Because if you're not comfortable with attention, more than likely you're not a narcissist.
Okay.
Number 2, do you see your spouse and children as extensions of you?
As if what they are doing is a reflection on how good you are or how bad you are.
Correct. For example, a narcissistic parent will see their spouse and children as an extension of them. So if their child goes to school and causes problems, say gets an F in school, does something, that parent sees that as a reflection upon themselves, as if they're the ones who got the F or caused the problems in school. And so then that child becomes the all bad person, right? Because there's black and white, all or nothing. So then the child is completely all bad. And it doesn't matter if that child has ever done anything good in their lives. It is never acknowledged, because now all of a sudden they are now the bad guy, because they have made the narcissist look bad, because they don't see any separation between themselves and others, because there is no individualism.
Now, can it go the other way too? So their child does something amazing and they take all the credit for it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's the golden child.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, the child that does all good, doesn't make the narcissist works, makes the narcissist look real good. Yes, they love those children.
Yeah.
Who is perfect though, right?
Yeah, who is?
You can't maintain that position for very long. Another question you can ask yourself is, do you feel like you're too good to associate with certain types of people?
Okay.
Do you have those kinds of standards as you're looking for friendships or work environments? Are you too good for those things? One of my favorite ones is, if you have a disagreement with somebody, can you acknowledge that maybe you might be at fault? Or do you always see every disagreement with somebody else as somebody else's fault? And then the 5th one is a big one. And this really goes back to, I think, the key of being a narcissist, and is, are you able to be concerned with other people's feelings? Do you feel bad if you've wronged or you hurt somebody? Are you able to apologize easily?
If not, you might be a narcissist.
You might be a narcissist.
This was a really great podcast, Candi. Thank you for this. So one thing I'm very grateful for is learning this and taking this journey with you, because when we started, I didn't know a lot about narcissism, less about codependency, and I'm really learning more, and it's broadening my horizon. I think it's going to make me a better person, seeing what this is and how to change it and make sure that I am as little narcissist as possible. Because like we said in the beginning, really there's only 3% of people that have narcissistic personality disorder, but we all have tendency and traits at times. And most of us, or I don't want to have that. So seeing this and going through this with you is really helpful in helping me grow. So that's my grateful, my gratitude today is to be able to go through this journey with you and to learn what you've had to figure out the hard way, and hopefully not have to go through some of those deep hardships that you've had to experience. So I really thank you for sharing those and being open and honest with us, because I know it's been really tough for you. And
Thank you.
hopefully, yeah, we can learn from you, not all have to go through such traumas that you have.
Well, I appreciate that. And I love taking this journey with you. And I really feel like, I've said this before, this is really my soul's calling. I've always said the life that I lived and the experiences I had, if I could help one person with that, then it was all worth it. And that is my gratitude.
Yeah.
Without these experiences, without the suffering of having narcissists in my life, I wouldn't have been pushed to grow and to become a better person and to understand these things. So I'm very grateful actually for the lessons that these narcissistic relationships and experiences have taught me and have pushed me to be a better person, to hopefully be a better friend, a better teacher, and a better person, a part of this world.
Yeah. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys for joining us on our podcast today. Am I the Narcissist? Hopefully that there is no worry anymore. You know it. So thank you guys. Take Life by the Horns, where we are on a mission to empower 1 million women to step into their power, believe in their ability to live life of their dreams, and fearlessly take life by the horns. Thank you guys. We appreciate you all.
Empowering women by their life lessons and manifestation skills, helping you reach your dreams faster. They did it. They'll show you how without making the same mistakes they did. One cowgirl, bull-raising childless wife with multiple businesses and streams of income who is manifesting her dreams into reality. She will help you with your weight loss and wealth goals, making you healthy and wealthy. One badass boy mom with a passion for energy, healing, health, and fitness. She will help you with healing and overcoming limited beliefs to manifest the life you've always dreamt. It's Tenneile and Candi, taking life by the horns.